Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. It's great to see you. It always is. I hope you're doing well. Long time no see. We've had a couple weeks off. We should be nice and rested, but we are most definitely back to business today. Two new tournaments over in China. It's going to be a good week, folks. It's going to be a rather decent week indeed. Make sure you get your comments in with your predictions. Anything that I'm going to be taking today will be in that pinned comment. Feel free to take a look at that. Do with it what you please. Take it if you want. Leave it if you must. It's entirely up to you. The choice is yours. But do like the video. If you'd be so kind, make sure you get yourself subscribed to the channel if you're not already. We do continue to grow each and every day. It would be an honour to welcome you to the team. And since there's nothing to recap, we shall waste no more time with it, folks. We are in the home stretch now, nothing but tennis towards the end of the season. Now there's still quite a lot to be played. We'll see how we get on. But let's get right into it. Let's waste no more time. Let's get it on. Right then, folks, first off is going to be Giron and Ethan Quinn. Got ourselves an All-American shootout to get underway over in China today. I'm not going to waste too much time on these, first round and what have you. But Ethan Quinn, Giron, who's it going to be? Could be an interesting one. Now look, we have had a couple of weeks off. We should be all refreshed, ready to go once again. But I have not forgotten. I have not forgotten about the terrible slump, the horrendous run of form that Giron may or may not still be in come today. That shall remain to be seen. But come on, ever since Wimbledon, since coming back to the hard court, leading up to the US Open, he's won one game out of 7. 1 win, 6 losses, and that 1 win was the revenge game against Navone in the US Open. I mean, I don't even know if that counts. Beating Navone in 5 in the US Open when a week before he got absolutely biffed up by him. So it's like, you take from that what you will. Take from that what you will. It's whatever, innit? But Jakub Mensik, Xiami Munar, Adrian Mannarino, Alexander Blocks, Navone, and then he beat Navone. And then the game against Bonzi. I'll say what you want against the game against Bonzi. He was winning it, then he weren't. Maybe he shattered away. Maybe it was just an unbelievable comeback from the Frenchman. It is what it is. I suppose we'll never know. It doesn't really matter. My point being, Giron's having a stinker. He's had an absolute stinker of a season so far. And as of late, the form that he's in, well, he's not in any form. He has zero form. Formless. Formless coming into this one. Where are we? What are we at? 18 and 21 on the year, 10 and 11 on the surface. That's not good enough. That is not good enough, especially if I was trusting him as a favourite as well. Absolutely not. Ethan Quinn, although he is nowhere near as experienced as Giron, I've seen much more. I've seen much more from Ethan Quinn so far this year. 37 and 22, 19 and 11. Plays good on the hard court. I've seen him play good pretty much everywhere. He's a decent player, I'll give him that. Now, since we've come back to the hard court as well, I mean, he ain't been much better. He's been decent, but it's nothing to write home about. I'm not going to sit here and overplay it to you. Back-to-back second round exits, it's fine. It's completely fine. It is what it is. It didn't get anything done in the US Open, but neither did Giron really. I mean, he won one match more than Ethan Quinn. But that one match in the US Open is pretty much all that Giron has done in the past couple of months. I'd just be going with Ethan Quinn. I'm not stupid. I'm just not stupid, am I? I know what I've seen. I know what I've seen with Giron. There's absolutely nothing to suggest he's going to turn up and just start playing lights out in this. I can't see it. I cannot see the lights out tennis coming from Giron today. We'll touch on this and then we'll move on to the next one. This has been making me laugh for the past couple hours. I've got Giron around 1.8. Now you might be looking at that as it stands now going, you know what, it kind of makes sense. Suppose it kind of does. Ethan Quinn, even money dog. Giron opened up at 1.4 for me yesterday afternoon. He opened up at 1.4 and I seen that and I was absolutely disgusted. Absolutely disgusted. Didn't look at it. I've come to look at it now, 11:15 at night, one day later, and it's nearly split down the middle. I'm not surprised. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that's managed to identify the problem with Giron so far. Can't trust him. Couldn't go anywhere near that guy in this one. Anywhere near him. Now, if he wants to turn up and look like a worldie, then so be it. Let him. I hope he does, because he needs to start winning. He needs to start winning. You don't want to watch him just keep losing, and you don't want to see anyone go down that road. But even if Marcus Giron makes just a couple of improvements, a couple of slight adjustments, a couple of improvements to what he's already delivering so far, I don't even think that's going to be enough. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not enough. Even money, even at plus money, depending where you look, you probably could have got him. You may have got him at a well better price yesterday. If anyone got Ethan Quinn around 2.4, 2.5, please do let me know. I think that was the wise choice. And going off how it's standing at the moment, I'd still have to go with Ethan Quinn. Ethan Quinn, even money, dog. Take him for the set. There's nothing to suggest Marcus Giron's going to turn up and do anything. Do anything. It is an All-American shootout. Form goes out the window. These like derbies, aren't they, in a weird way? Some of these are really good. Some of them, maybe not so much. This could be a decent one. Marcus Giron really needs some wins. Ethan Quinn, I doubt he's just going to roll over and allow him to do so. If Ethan Quinn is capable of doing this, I imagine he's going to do it. Although they did play each other once before. That was earlier on in the season, Delray Beach. That did go the way of Marcus Giron, but Delray Beach, Marcus Giron. And now we've got September Marcus Giron. A lot has happened since Delray Beach. And I just don't think I can trust him. Absolutely not. Like I said, he opened up at 1.4. It's now 1.8. You do with that what you will. And we'll move on. Right, next one is going to be Cam Norrie. And he'll be taking on Zhou. Look, how much can be said about a match like this? What you really want me to say about this? Cam Norrie is coming in at 1.2 as a favourite. That is a horrendous price. Nothing to be done with that. The question stands, don't it? The question is, do you trust Cam Norrie enough to cover that spread? Because I'm not paying 1.2 for him to get this one done. Although I do believe he is going to win this match. His opponent... Now, I have said this about one of the other matches, but depending how I clip it together, this one's probably going to come first. But home tournaments over in China and whatnot, over in the Asian swing, these players are very, very honoured to turn up and be able to perform for the home crowd. Very honoured. So maybe we'll get a little something more from Zhou today, from what we used to see him. But if I just had to call it for what it is, I don't think he's going to stand much chance against Cam Norrie today. This guy's been getting beat on the ITF Tour. Struggling, and I mean struggling on the Challenger Tour, man. Like 6 game losing streaks on the Challenger Tour. Barely getting wins, can't string nothing together on the ITF. Don't want to take anything away from the lad, you know what I mean? I don't know, he may end up being the next best player in a year or two. You just never know. But I've seen nothing this season from this guy. 16 and 20, all from the Challenger and the ITF. It's Cam Norrie. It's Cam Norrie. How much of a stinker would Cam Norrie have to put in today to get beat by this kid? I'm not too sure. Now, I'm never against an upset, for the sake of viewing and for the sake of watching and the entertainment. If Zhou wants to turn up and upset the apple cart and beat Cam Norrie, then so be it. I'm not against that happening. I just can't see it happening. Absolutely not. There's just levels. There's just levels, man. And if you can't win, if you can barely put like back-to-back wins together on the ITF in 2025, I'm not giving you much of a chance against Cam Norrie. I'm just not. Say what you want. It is what it is. I'm expecting Cam Norrie to win that one, 1.2. I don't imagine you going anywhere near that one. Absolutely not. Right, so next up, it's going to be Quinton Halys and Christopher O'Connell. I want to go with Christopher O'Connell on this. I really want to go with Christopher O'Connell on this. I'm just concerned that last match, I seen him on the Challenger Tour not that long ago. A couple of days ago, weren't it? 13th, yes, semi-finals on the Challenger Tour in China. He had to pull out against Tabilo in these semi-finals. So I'm a little bit concerned coming into this one. How's he going to hold up? I'm not so sure. Quinton Halys, fuck me, man. What are we going to do with this guy? What is to be done with Quinton Halys? I can't remember the last time I seen him get a win. When was it? I'll tell you when it was right now. Germany, over in Hall. Oh my days. Oh my days. Is that the 16th of June? Fuck me. Bleach my eyes. Benjamin Bonzi, first round. He's played 9 matches since that, and he's won 1. That was in the Bundesliga against Rodriguez Taverna. Oh no. Oh my. Medvedev, Bellucci, Holmgren, Fikovic, Kovacevic, Kekmanovic, David Goffin, and then Who the fuck's that? Galinka? Someone called Galinka. Aye. Fucking getting beat by Star Wars characters now. Um, Look, it's not through lack of trying. Win or lose, and it's been lose for the most part ever since Germany, but he has been taking sets. He took a set in his last, let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last 6 matches, he has lost 5 of the 6, but he's taken a set in them, 2-1s. He's got a decent game, especially on the hard court. He's got a decent game. If he can turn up and serve well, put the pressure on you, he can be a problem. We've seen Quinn Halys turn up and be a problem for much more better, for much more experience and high level opponents than Christopher O'Connell. There's no doubt about that. You just can't trust the form. There is no form. Said it about Marcus Giron. It's the same for Quinton Halys. There's no form, zero form, formless, nil momentum. Nothing to suggest he's going to turn up and just look like a worldie in this one. I know he can play good on his day, but those days have been rather few and far between as of late, have they not? I mean, he just never really looks in shape. I think, is it the fitness? Quinton Halys just looks like he starts blowing out of his ass in that second set every time. Even if he takes the first one, he'll drop the second, or he'll drop the first, take the second, and then, I don't know, man. I don't know, he's probably in well better shape than me. Who the fuck am I to talk, But 17 and 23, 10 and 11 on the hard court, I mean, it's not that great. 16 and 11 for Christopher O'Connell. It's a bit better. You can definitely hang with Quinton Halys, Christopher O'Connell. I think, when he hits form, when he hits stride, I think Christopher O'Connell is a little bit underrated. I really do. He's nowhere near the best. I'm not saying he's criminally underrated by any means, but I think he's a lot better than what a lot of people give him credit for. We'll leave it at that. I've seen more from him as of late. Like I said, he did drop down to the Challenger Tour. Bit of a warm-up for this one after the US Open. Got to the semi-finals, but he did have to pull out. And that is my only concern in this. Because I'm always concerned about the fitness of Quinton Halys. But now I have to be concerned about the fitness of Christopher O'Connell. And I don't know if I'm willing to roll a dice that he's going to turn up and be good to go. I would like to take him. Odds are somewhat split down the middle. You can get either one of these as a favourite, so take the dog price for either one. I've got a Betfair exchange or Christopher O'Connell at an even money dog. Yeah, bit of cash coming in on Quinton Halys. It's all over the place. It's swapping between the two. You pick your poison, you pay your money, you take your choice. All the facts are there. I would slightly go with Christopher O'Connell. Take either one for a set. Best of threes, first round. Just play it safe if you want. Quinton Halys has been playing good enough to be taking sets. Kekmanovic, Kovacevic. I'd fancy it to be able to take one off Christopher O'Connell. But we'll see. I think this solely relies on the fitness of Christopher O'Connell. I really do. Because Quinton Halys, he ain't been beating anyone as of late. He hasn't been beating anyone, and there's not much to suggest he's probably going to turn up and look like an absolute monster in this one. So it still would be Christopher O'Connell for me, folks. If I had to touch that one, I'd take Christopher O'Connell for a set. And hey, look, you could just be having a bit of a free hit here. If he's still a bit fucked up, if he's still a bit banged up, he'll turn up. He may just pull out. Don't let that be the foundation on which your house is built. But he may just pull out. Maybe Christopher O'Connell is an okay bet. Maybe not. You let me know about that. Right then, so the last one for this tournament anyway. It's going to be Zhou Bergs. He'll be taking on Jerry Shang. Good old Jerry Shang. I love watching this kid play. When he's fit and when he's good to go. He's something to behold, man. Good old Shang. Shangity Shang Jabop. I think he's going to get beat. It's killing me to say it, but I just think he's going to get beat. I've seen nothing from Shang since, we were last in China, start of the season, Hong Kong, got to the semi-finals. He was fantastic. He was so good. And then he had to pull out to the Australian Open, and we pretty much haven't seen him since. Seen him in Toronto, Cincinnati, and then in the US Open. Seen more of him as of late, trying to get himself back up to speed and what have you. Just ain't working now, is it? Such a damn shame, man. It's just not working. James Duckworth beat him in Toronto. Echeverry beat him in Cincinnati. And then Bellucci was beating him and then he pulled out. He's still not fit, is he? I don't think he's ready. I'm not convinced he's ready. I'm really not. Zhou Bergs is far from trustworthy. I've learned this, you know. There was a point in time, more so last season, I remember everyone was raving about Zhou Bergs. And you'll probably remember, if you've been on the channel for quite some time, you'll remember me saying for ages, I don't understand what the hype is about. I don't understand what the hype is about. And I found myself turning over to the other side. I learnt the lesson with Zhou Bergs, and I thought he was a lot better, you know, than what I originally did. But then, you know, we fast forward another year. I found myself trusting in Zhou Bergs more and more, based on, you know, the fact that I never used to. And now I'm back to where I started with him. I just can't trust him. I never know what he's going to look like. Never know what he's going to look like when he turns up, man. The levels, it's either too high or too low. He either looks unbelievable or he looks so bad. And you kind of know how it's going to go within the first couple of games with Zhou Bergs, you know. Um, Even Money Dog, plus Money Dog, I mean, oh look, I ain't got much. I'm not picking this with a lot of conviction, but Shang's just not fit. I'm not convinced that Shang is fit. It is his home tournament. He's going to be more than up for for turning up in this one and trying to at least put on some sort of performance and deliver somewhat of a result. Is his body going to allow him to do so? I'm not too sure. He's on a 5-game losing streak, and that is dating back to the very start of the year, 13th of January. It's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. And I'd love to just roll the dice and think, you know what, maybe this is the match. I just hope. I'd love it to be. I would love nothing more than to watch Shang turn up and just get it done here, go to work, get this one done, look exactly how I know he can look. But I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. I think it's a big ask. He's really struggled, man. It's not even like he's kind of got back to form or got back to fitness. He's just not quite there. He hasn't even got to that point yet. And Zhou Bergs, although he's not the most trustworthy, he's no joke on the hard court, man. He's no joke. He can turn up. If the serve goes in for him, if he can keep his keep his shit together, if he doesn't lose his mind, the last thing we need from Zhou Bergs is to start searching for winners. If he starts searching for winners, them errors are going to be going everywhere. And I feel like, I don't want to be the one to say it, but Zhou Bergs may just have to gift this match to Jerry Shang. There's been nothing to suggest that Shang's going to turn up and look like anything in this one. I would have to go with Zhou Bergs 14 and 12 on the hard court, 3 and 5 for Shang. Played each other once before. Head to head is one apiece. Shang did beat him last year over in Paris on the indoor hard court, and then Zhou Bergs beat him on the clay. I'd say the Shang that we had last year in Paris compared to the Shang that we've had now, he's missed so much tennis. He just might be a little bit too far behind for Zhou Bergs at this point. Me personally, and I don't love it. As a matter of fact, I hate this pick, and you're probably going to hate it too. I hate this play so much. But I think I'll be taking Zhou Bergs to get this one done. Why not? Why wouldn't you? I mean, he's fit. He's fit and he's been winning games, he's been ticking along, he's winning games. More form, more momentum. Jerry Shang, 5-game losing streak dating back to January. I'm afraid I just can't go anywhere near him today. I'd love him to win. I'm kind of going to be cheering for him to win as well. But if I had to bet this one, look folks, at plus money, Zhou Bergs, given the circumstances, maybe it's just me. Maybe tomorrow Shang will turn up and just wipe the floor with this guy. Maybe Shang will beat Zhou Bergs and then he'll go on to beat everyone and just maybe he'll win the tournament. I think it's a big ask. I think it's a very big ask just for him to get past Zhou Bergs today. Can't see it happening. Would love it to. Don't think it's going to. Zhou Bergs, at least for a set, while he is a plus money dog, you should be able to get a rather sweet price. Very well folks, first off we've got Kovacevic and Nardi. I think on paper at least this has the potential to be a rather interesting match if you'd ask me. I think it'll be a close one. These have played each other once before. It was on the Challenger Tour earlier on in the season on the clay, and it did go the way of the Italian quite convincingly as well. 6-2, 6-3. It's quite a beatdown. But now they play each other on the hard court, and who's it going to be? I'd love to sit here and say one is miles above the other when it comes to hard court tennis, and I thought maybe one would have been, but they're not. The fact is they're not. 13-11 for the pair of them on the surface this season. Decent. Very decent indeed. 27 and 25 for the Italian, 30 and 25 for the American. So like I said, not a lot to separate them on paper. Kind of got to just go off what we know. Kind of got to go off what we know. I mean, look, I've been saying this for what seems like months, and you're probably going to sit there and say you've been saying this for like the past 4 or 5 tournaments, and I think I have, but I'm expecting, well, I'm not expecting, I'm kind of just waiting for Mexico Kovacevic to turn up again. Remember how good he was in Los Cabos? He was fantastic, got to the final, ended up getting beat by El Chapo, but post-Mexico Kovacevic has been nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. Even prior to Mexico, I mean, let's be real, who are we kidding? He had a couple of decent runs very early on in the season, more so on the indoor court, but prior to Mexico, not that much, and even post-Mexico, it's just been, well, same old shit for Kovacevic, you know. He's won 2 games since, and he's played in, 5 tournaments. 1-1 in Washington, just about got past Halys, beat by big foe. Tristan Boyer in Toronto, Medjedovic in Cincinnati, got past Misalic in the Winston-Salem, Kekmanovic beat him in straights, and then a very disappointing first round exit in the US Open by Coleman Wong. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I haven't been liking what I've seen from Kovacevic for the past couple of months. Even Luca Nardi, look, he is on a 2-game losing streak, as is Kovacevic. I mean, Thomas Mahac in the US Open. I think Thomas Mahac on the day is miles above Luca Nardi, and I think he's miles above Kovacevic. He's probably better than the two of them gelled together. I don't know. Doesn't really matter, but you know what I'm saying. And then onto Alcaraz in Cincinnati. My main focus on this is probably going to be the run of wins that he managed to string together over in Cincinnati. Now, Luca Nardi didn't even qualify. He did not qualify for that tournament. Alexander Bloch sent him home. But he come back. Thiago Tirante, straight sets. El Chapo in 3. And then he just bullied Mensah, didn't he? I mean, look, you say what you want about that. Mensah had to pull out, but he absolutely slapped him up in that first set. And he was probably just going to do the same in the second, man. I mean, that was probably just sparing yourself some embarrassment. 6-2, and it was probably going to be 6-2 in the second as well. Who knows? I've just seen more recently. And like I said, at first glance at the start, I looked at it and I went, Kovacevic. I feel like I've seen more. I feel like I can trust in him a little bit more on the surface. But the fact is, I can't. He didn't do anything before Mexico for quite some time. And even after Mexico, every match I'm sitting there going, if we can get Los Cabos Kovacevic, just if we can get that, we'll be alright. And we haven't got it. Excuse me. We ain't got it. It's been quite far from it, even being real. I'd pretty much have to take Luca Nardi. I'd have to take him. I'm not picking it with a lot of conviction. I'm not forcing myself to take it. It is the first round. I mean, it's an even money dog. He opened up at 2.4. And now he's sitting at even money, so clearly I'm not the only one sitting here with a couple of concerns regarding the American in this. And before we move on, I'll just say this, say it all the time, not only about Kovacevic, but for those that possess it. One-handed backhand, it needs to be perfect every single time. And not only that, it's also something that, unless you're like Roger Federer, I need to see that working. I need to see the one-hander working in order for me to at least feel like it can continue to work throughout the rest of the week. So I'm just going to sit and watch this one. For the sake of the prediction and the final answer, I'd go with Luca Nardi to pull off the upset. Let's be real, if Luca Nardi beats him today, would that even feel like an upset? I don't think it will. I think he made the mistake opening up with Kovacevic at 1.5. That has most definitely corrected itself round about now. You may even get a bit more. This may even be split down the middle near the time. I'm just saying 1.55 to over 1.8. That's a hell of a drop. That's one hell of a drop. You know it is. Is that enough to make a decision for you? Probably not. But please do let me know your thoughts on said matchup. I'd probably be leaning towards the Italian. I wouldn't be picking it with a lot of conviction. Maybe just take him for a set if you want to make things a bit easier for yourself. Say, there's not a lot to split him. Not a lot to split the two of these. Kovacevic, he ain't really been doing it for me. Past couple of tournaments, not even that. Past 4 or 5 tournaments, he ain't really been easy on the eye. Struggling, to say the least. I think Luca Nardi might just have enough to at least steal a set. Make him uncomfortable. Could be in for a long one, maybe lean towards an over. Ultimately, I would be siding with the Italian to just edge that one out. However he wants to go about his business is entirely up to him, but Nardi would be the play for me. Right, so next one is going to be Mannarino, Navone and Tien. I'd want to go with Tien. I would want to go with Tien. I feel like I would have to go with Tien. I'm kind of being forced to go with Tien today based just on what we know. But I'm pretty sure I would have said that last time. These have played each other once before. You're probably sitting there going, do you not remember Indian Wells? I do. I remember it all so well. I thought Tien was going to turn up and get it done with relative ease in his home tournament. Absolutely not. Straight sets, Navone 7-5, 6-4. Upset, absolutely. What were the odds on that? I imagine he was a bigger favourite for that. We're getting Tien around 1.6 for those that care. Navone around 2.25. 1 point. It's very tempting. It's very tempting. We are in somewhat of a revenge spot at the moment for Tien. I thought he was going to win the last one. I can't believe he didn't. I still believe he should probably be winning this one. I think for the most part, early doors, first round in these hardcore tournaments, Tien, he's usually good for your money. He's usually good for your money. It's not very often. It's kind of rare he turns up and just puts in an absolute shitter. I think, now I could be wrong, but it appears to me that Tien kind of takes out the players that he should be beating. And he throws in a couple of upsets along the way. You know, Tien will turn up and wipe the floor with your favourite player, and then he'll play the next match and look like absolute shit. It is what it is. It's rather funny. It's a funny old game. 2-game losing streak. Djokovic and Rublev means nothing to me. I'll give them both of them. Navone, it's the hard court, innit? It's the hard court for Navone. I don't want to take anything away from him. It's not impersonal, but it's the case with pretty much all of these, the clay court specialists. How much do I expect from them when we come over to the hard court? Not much. Not much. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't expect them to ever win a game on the hard court, because this is the thing with these people. You'd always think they're at a massive disadvantage, and for the most part they kind of are. But they will get some wins. They will tick over. They will pick up the odd win or two on this surface, even though it's nowhere near the preferred one. Navone can definitely do that. He's already done it to Tien. He's already done it. He's got the energy, he's got the stamina, he's got the games to be able to keep up with Tien, in my opinion. One just prefers the clay, one just prefers the hard court. I would always just pick Tien. There's not much to go off on this. You're talking, but it's the thing with Navone. He's won 3 games since we've come back to the hard court. 3 games. He took out Struff in qualifying for Cincinnati, takes out Struff on the hard court, and then gets beat by Emilio Nava, beat by Adam Walton. 2 wins in Winston-Salem, Suresh, and then he absolutely battered Marcus Giron. We're going to be talking about him in a moment. That's a matter of fact, we probably already spoke about him. I'm recording these first. Suresh and Giron, then he's on a 2-game losing streak to Boo, and then Giron managed to get some revenge over in the US Open, although it did take 5 sets. Like I say, it's tricky, man. It's tricky. Kind of being forced. I'm forcing myself to go with Tien. You don't really need me to sit here and pick it apart. 1.6. We could be sitting here tomorrow night and going, you know what, in hindsight, 1.6 for Tien in the first round seemed like a bit of a steal. I'm expecting him to win. If he turns up and gets beat by Navone again on the hard court, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. Anything can happen. Stranger things have most certainly happened on the ATP Tour this season. But I'd like to think we could trust in the American today. Revenge spot. Bit of revenge for Tien. Let's see how he turns up and let's see how he gets on. Right, and the last one is going to be Mannarino, and he'll be taking on Wu. I'm very excited for this one, folks. I'm looking forward to watching this, if I'm being honest with you. These have played each other once before, back in Dallas 2 years ago. It did go the way of Wu in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4. So he's played them once and he's beaten them once. Perfect. That's perfect for Wu, because you know what I always say, if you're not ready for Mannarino, if you've never experienced this before, you're probably going to struggle, man. So he beat him 2 years ago. Maybe he can get it done once again today. I probably wouldn't put it past him. But I will say this. Adrian Mannarino, the past couple months, ever since we came onto the grass, prior to the grass, this guy was really struggling. He needed saving, to say the least. Come onto the grass was fantastic. And then since we've come off the grass, back onto the hard court, Mannarino's been fantastic. Dare I say Mannarino's probably been one of the better players we've had out of the lot. If I'm just going off his last 10 matches, the last two tournaments, excuse me, US Open and Cincinnati, you don't need me to tell you how good he was. You really don't. Jannik Sinner beat him, and then Yuri Lehechka beat him in the fourth round of the US Open. Fatigue, maybe. Would he have got past Ben Shelton if Ben Shelton weren't injured? Suppose we'll never know. Look, my point being, he's been fantastic. He's been unbelievable, and he really did need it. He really did need it. Look, going off Wu, if we're going to get anything from Wu, it's going to be on the hard court, and let's be real. All of these wins, if not pretty much every one of them, has come by way of the hard court. 22-8 on the season, 20-6 on the surface. Now, I don't know how much to take from it because, just looking at the results, the majority of them have either come through qualifying or on the Challenger Tour. Up until recently, anyway. We go into Washington, come through qualifying. He took out Mitchell Kruger, Corentin Moutet, Gael Monfils and Popperin in the main draw. Got beat by Daniel Medvedev. No shame in that. That's a decent run. Dropped back down to the Challenger Tour. Didn't do too great. And then come back up to the US Open. Didn't even qualify. Look, it's good. 20-6 is good. It really is. But, look at what Mannarino is doing, man. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and bore the shit out of you and go on about it too much, but US Open, Cincinnati, I'll just give you a couple. Shelton, Thompson, the Greek sport, Sammy Paul, Mahatch, Jordan Thompson. The list goes on. I'll take them. I'll take any of them over any of those wins from Wu any day of the week. I just would. I can't deny the current form and the momentum of Mannarino. He's an absolute nightmare. You need to be ready. I know Wu's beaten him before, but if you're not ready like tonight, you're not going to be ready tomorrow. You need to be ready like yesterday for this guy. We always say it. He's a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. When was we saying it? You're sitting there playing Mannarino, you go, this is easy. I don't have to expend any energy. He's just giving me dead easy balls to put in. Oh my God, I'm down a set and a break, and I've won 3 games. What the fuck has happened? Mannarino has happened. That's exactly what he does. Before we finish up, I will say this: with it being the home tournament for Wu, it's not usually the case throughout the course of the season. I always like to think we get these home players in the home tournaments. They're going to turn up and give it their all. Doesn't always go that way, does it? Doesn't always go that way for reasons unknown, and I couldn't really care. But I've noticed over the seasons, when we come over to the Asian swing, when we go to China and whatnot, these guys are very, very honoured to be able to perform in their home tournament. Very honoured indeed. And these always turn up. You just know it. Would not be surprised to see an extra gear or two out of the Asian lads this week. And I'll leave you with this. I'll leave you with somewhat of a small riddle that I haven't really figured out yet, so I imagine someone may be a bit better informed. But please do let me know in the comments. But I'll leave you with this. You let me know, what are the odds for this? What are the odds right now while you're watching it? And what did they open up as? Can you tell me? Can you remember? Because I'll tell you what they opened up for me right now. I had Adrian Mannarino around 1.5. This was around yesterday, around 1 o'clock, 2 p.m, give or take. Now I'm recording this, it's 11 p.m, Tuesday the 16th of September, so we've only got like 6-7 hours until the first match. Mannarino is an even money dog. Wu opened up at 2.5, he's now sitting at 1.75. Where has all that money come from? I'm not too sure. Most importantly, why has all that money come in? That's a hell of a lot. That's a hell of a lot of money to just fire on a dog overnight. I don't know. Food for thought, folks. It's kind of putting me off. Because I'm looking at such a drop and I'm going, maybe people know something I don't. 2.4 to 1.75. It's kind of making your decision for you. But I'll be honest with you. 2.4 and now it's 1.75. I feel like I've missed it. If I was going to sit here and say I'm taking Wu, ship sailed. That ship has long gone. 1.75, I won't be paying that. I weren't too sure I would have took him as a dog, so I certainly won't be taking him as a favourite. Mannarino could most definitely upset the apple cart in this one. I don't even think it had seemed that much of an upset if Mannarino was to win. So getting him at even money might be a bit of a steal, providing not providing, but given the current momentum of the Frenchman coming into this one. It's tough. But like I said, you're going to have to let me know. Because maybe there's something I've missed. There's clearly something I've missed on this. 2.5 to 1.75 last time, I'm going to say it. Something stinks in the garden. Something absolutely reeks in the fucking garden there, folks, and I don't know what it is. But I am very, very interested to find out. Alright then, people, that shall do us for tonight. Short and sweet, just how we like it. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you watching the show. Make sure you like and subscribe before you go, and I'd appreciate that too. Feels fantastic to be back to business. It really does. I was getting piss bored with myself for those 2 weeks. It was nice to have a bit of a break after the US Open, but after 2 or 3 days I was like, oh man, just give me the tennis. Give me the tennis. Give me the community. Just give me it all back. I just need it. I really do. But we're most definitely back to business now, folks. Happy days. Happy days. It's always a pleasure talking to you. You know that. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's keep it going. Let's have ourselves a good day. You take it easy here. You take care of yourselves. You take care of one another. It's the most important thing. And I'll be seeing you around. Let me know what you're going for. Anything I'm taking. It's going to be in that pinned comment. You should know that by now. See you in a bit, yeah. Best of luck. However you decide to go about your business today. Enjoy the matches and all that. And I'll see you tomorrow.